Hey everyone, welcome to Little Drummer Dude Vids. Welcome to the interview portion of our channel. So, in this one we have episode 1, Road to Recovery. In this interview, I got one of my best friends, Zach Lemaster here. Now, Zach and I go back way back. And we went from pretty much party boys, how would you say it? Something like that. So, but, as life happens, some challenges happen. And Zach is now, a year?
Almost 19 months sober.
Sober, yeah. And what's crazy is that literally he and I used to tear up clubs, bars, and stuff like that, as, like a drinking duo. And, it just, some things happen, and I literally got to watch this man turn his life around. So I know his story could help a lot of people out there struggling with that same problem. Well, I wouldn't say problem. With that same situation. So I have Zach here to kind of tell us, what it was like to go from one stage of his life to another and literally do a 180 turn on his life. So thank you for coming, man. So we'll start with some basics. I hate to sound like, cliche about everything, but do you remember when your first drink was?
First drink? Yes. I was probably about, I want to say 14 or 15. A friend of mine went on a camping trip with his older sister and her boyfriend and cousins, and that was the first time I drank, and it was peach schnapps. Yeah.
Nice. So that was literally your first. Literally.
That was literally my
Not
first.
like at a family reunion like your uncle didn't. Jeez, that was horrible.
Yeah, it was horrible. And I think I woke up in the middle of the night because we had tents. We were sleeping in on the river or the lake, and woke up in the middle of the night, threw up, and thought I saw a UFO because I was seeing double, and really all it was a car driving in the distance, and I saw 4 lights because I was seeing double, and really it was just a car driving by in the distance. Yeah.
You people, yes, you people. You guys love UFOs. I mean, I believe in them too, but
Yeah.
All right. So after that, I guess when would you say? I guess all right. Everyone has recovery, and they change things around. But can you say at least? I don't know if this is even appropriate. Do you have at least one good memory of when you were still drinking?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't from, when I really started drinking, it wasn't like right off the bat like this is horrible. It really was about 7 years of fun. Playing music, going out, meeting a lot of different people. Even when we met, it was fun, watching USC games and going out.
Yeah.
And in that time frame, it was fun, I hadn't crossed that imaginary line yet of this is a problem. Was still, there are still memories of fun, like typical, like wake up the next day, like hungover, and thinking, oh man, I won't do that again. And then fast forward to later that night. And let's go out again.
And anyone who's really ever drank can say they did the whole like, oh, I hate life, I'm never doing this again. Yeah, I'll go out.
Yeah, exactly.
I've done that millions of times.
Yeah. And it was like that, it was fun. There's memories. Like I said, music was a big part of it, the whole living the whole sex, drugs, rock and roll, for quite a while. I did meet a lot of cool people who are still a part of my life today who are friends, from those times,
right,
when it was fun. So yeah, there was good times.
Yeah, and I can very much vouch for some of those days. Like even some of my favorite memories of being part of that time frame, from just literally spontaneous activities that like we'd go from like we watched like an early USC game, and then after that it's like we celebrate a win and like, hey, let's go out and or even like our Sundays,
right?
How we'd have like both of us have he's a football fan like I am, and we'd watch our game. God forbid we both won, in the same time frame, like, hey, let's go celebrate. And then we go get something to eat, and then next thing you know, we're out, that night. And Monday, we're just like, hey, football's on again. And just that vicious cycle. And I will say those were good times. And then now let's transition to like I can say when I thought, let's kind of go to the when we started noticing the pattern.
Right.
And I know when it was, but when would you say you think it was starting to become a pattern of when there's social drinking, there's drinking by yourself, then there's the drinking your sorrows away, and then there's the the emotional drink, like you have a rough day or something, lady problems or just business problems. When would you say the pattern started to form?
For me, I could look back and say, I think I tried to still live that lifestyle, the sex, drugs, rock and roll thing. Even though the rock and roll stopped a long time ago and the band thing had stopped, I was still in that lifestyle. And I think deep down I knew there was things going on, but I tried to cover it up by like, oh, this is still fun. But at the time, though, I look back and I was sleeping on your couch, and then waking up in the morning, and first thing I do is have a couple drinks, just because, that's kind of the pattern I started doing, where I thought it was okay, because I thought, oh, this is just part of my life now. It's okay, everything's fine, even though I'm sleeping on somebody's couch. And I
was okay with it.
Yeah, it was fun. Like I said, it was fun.
We were doing stuff. It wasn't just like I came home and like,
right,
who the hell are you?
Yeah. And but for me, there was things going on in my life that I didn't want to face. And I thought as long as I, keep drinking the way I am and still hanging out with people and stuff, I won't have to face it. And eventually that just built up over time. And the drinking became I was depressed, and as much as it looked like I was having fun, deep down I was just hurting, and I just relied on alcohol to hopefully just like help me not have to deal and feel really for everything that I was going through.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned the whole like the depression thing, because I know watching how, I guess you can say, with our friendship, we've been friends for almost, 10 years now, right? Something
Almost
like that?
Something,
Yeah. And I remember, like I said, I've been able to watch, literally I watched everything happen. And we went from the social part, and then we got closer, and then, we built that, we're family now, because we've spent some time together. And it wasn't just we hung out, we literally we went from I just met you, we're brothers now.
Yeah.
Literally.
I knew some of the drinking I was doing in the mornings, and doing it and having to sneak around waiting for you guys to go to sleep and go sneak around. And
right.
Part of me started to feel like, okay, this isn't normal, But, I haven't gotten a DUI. I haven't gotten to jail. I wasn't I didn't think I was harming anybody.
Right.
Because you could vouch. I wasn't like a angry drunk. I didn't start trying to fight people.
No, never.
So I was trying to.
He'd make bets though.
Yes, I make stupid bets. Yes, that. Or when we would play Madden and.
Oh, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, there was, having my son and knowing that, I should probably try to be there more. But I was so just hung up on my son's mom and I and what we were going through, and just so angry, I didn't think that maybe I should slow down on the drinking. Maybe that might help. But it literally progressed and got worse, and I knew I kind of just had to leave from your couch and really went to somebody else's couch.
Yeah.
I call it my couch tour that I went on. And it progressively got worse. It never got better, and not once in this time frame did I think I should stop drinking. That was like not an option for me at that time.
Yeah, and what's crazy about even watching you go through that is like, in my head, I'm like, dude, this is my buddy, and like, I hate that I'm watching you go through this. Half of me is like, okay, do we keep him here to like, protect him? But at the same time, it was also, we were enabling at the same time, and it hurt because I'm like, I don't want him to go anywhere else, because if something were to happen to you somewhere else, that's the first thing that my brain would have went to is, we had him here, we had him safe, it was under control, and that happened. Because I remember there was times that you even got to that, to where like, everything was just so overwhelming, and we were trying to help, as much as possible, for whether it be giving advice or just, just help in general, without getting, too into it. But I'm like, how do I help stop this? And just, it's a situation where like there's nothing we could do. It just has to come on. You can the cliche saying, we can offer help as much as you want, but unless you want the help, it's not gonna, just a dead end.
Yeah.
So on a okay, going back to the whole mad thing, just to to break the seriousness for a second. So I created a game with my buddy, Buddy Garcia, my best friend Josh. He and I created a Madden thing. Well, I'll explain, how those rules. Oh, the heck with it. I might as well tell you now. Yeah. So, Buddy and I came up with this game to how you play Madden. So it was basically, you'd be drunk by the end of the game. If it was a high scoring game. If you were, if it was a low scoring game, then nothing to. But I'm not gonna explain those rules or anything like that, because that's not what we're here for. But yeah, a lot of those things would, going back to the betting thing. Here we can. So we had one day where we were, we went out and decided. So usually, anytime we went out, we'd come back, play a game of Madden, with our rules. And I remember there was one night in particular, we get into like this argument. Zach decides. I think I know it. Zach decides, like, I don't know how it even happened. He decides he thinks he can run faster than me.
Yes, it is this night.
And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I'll bet you $50 I can run faster than you. And everyone's seen those videos of idiots on Instagram and Facebook, run like just people just, I don't know why, racing. People, we get in this mindset of like, I'm still like 13, like, man. And so we just picture these two dumbasses sitting, excuse my language, just, and my wife was a part of it, just watching us go like back and forth, like, oh my god. He's like, here's my $50, here's my $50. All right, fine, let's go right now. And we literally race, and she's like, on your mark, get set.
Yeah.
Go. A third of the way,
I stopped.
Zach's like, yeah, he's faster than me.
I just stopped. I remember that. It must have been 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah, exactly.
In the driveway.
And where I lived at the time, they had this long driveway. So I'm like, there's plenty of room.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we get back, back in the house, and he's like, let's play again. Play another game. I'm like, oh, damn, no, I want to go to bed. Like,
it's funny you bring those things up, and I can look back at it, and those not just drinking, I was finding anything possible to not have to think about my problems. Literally, when I look back at it, I was like, now I can laugh, then I was like, I really was like, anything, whatever it was, it just, I did not want to have to think about what I had going on outside, like out in the real world.
And you hit it well. I didn't like. We had no idea until like, you actually came, out and said it.
Yeah, and it was, yeah. I mean, the addiction comes with there's just so many things other than just drugs and alcohol. There's so many things out there that you don't want to face reality. So you find any escape. To not have to face your problems, and that's what I did for a very long time. And it's just I'm glad today I don't have to do that anymore.
Well, I'm glad you brought up that you don't have to deal with it anymore. So now let's talk about the positives now.
Mm-hmm.
So what did it take for you to say, I need help, I'm gonna do this, and what was that that deal breaker in your mind of, okay, we're gonna turn this around?
Right. So I will share with kind of what happened right before I got sober a little bit, and I wasn't sleeping on your couch anymore. I went to somewhere else, and then I think at one point I was sleeping in my car for a few weeks, and I stopped making payments on the car. I knew they were after me to repossess the car. And all my family at this point, they wouldn't let me stay with them. And it took finally a friend of mine reached out to me, invited me over. We were talking. He asked me where I was staying, and I said, right there. And he said, where? I said, in my car. And he goes, no, you're going to stay with me tonight. And he was going through his own situation, and this person drank just like me. And we isolated together for about a year, and I slept on his floor in his bedroom, a small bedroom, for about a year, and just drank and drank, and the drinking got worse, where I would wake up with the cold sweats, shaking, had bottles hidden everywhere, having to drink just to stop shaking. I was that guy that would take water bottles everywhere with me with vodka in it, and not, and I could think back and just be like, same thing, I'll get out of this one day, somehow,
Okay, you were saying you got a credit card now.
Oh yeah, credit card and all this stuff now, like things I'd never thought about. I didn't think that, in a way, like I was good enough to have those things.
Yeah.
I was so just put myself down all the time. Thinking like, oh, I'm just some low life sleeping on people's couches, and today it's not like that, and like I've, my family, I've made amends to them, and it's not easy, but it's worth it when you do it, and I've got my friendships back, and
well, our friendship never left. I'm just making sure that's very clear.
I think it's more of like, I feel like everybody can trust me again.
Yeah.
Which is huge, from this guy who was just, I felt like I was taking and taking and taking from everybody, and now it's not like that, I'm more of like, I want to give, because this thing that I've gotten was given to me freely, and it's something I want to give back, that's why I'm so open to doing this right now, because it's something, that needs to be heard, it because there's that, that stigma about like walking into an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting of like, oh God, once I do that, that's it, Yeah. And it's this. I'm hoping this can maybe break that down a little bit, and that meeting you went to, that was a men's stag meeting, and that was a little bit different, but it was still, you still got the message. It was fun. Yeah,
they got their point across, and it was fun.
Yeah,
seriously, give it a shot.
And it's okay, ask for help, and there's treatments out there, and it's things are so much better. Like he says, I have taken a complete 180.
Man, you have no idea like how, and I was even saying this in the process of, like, even when you got to your 6 month mark, I was like, I was telling my wife, I was like, I'm so proud of this dude. Like, I've watched him literally hit his rock bottom. Well, in my eyes, I watched you hit your rock bottom and watched you turn around. I watched you get help and just You were doing good with it. Okay, he's sticking with it. He's doing good. Oh my God, he's turned around. Different person. Completely different person. Still Zach.
Yeah.
But it was literally like watching like my friend like watch him go from a boy to a man.
Yeah.
It was inspirational to watch, man.
Yeah,
so I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you,
dude.
And it's you know, it is one of those things though. I mean, it's not like I got this now. I have to remind myself of that. Like, oh, okay, I did all the meetings, I did all that. No, this is a continuous thing. It's a daily thing, and you know, it can be scary sometimes though, you know, because for me, like I said, it was an escape for me to, if I had a bad day or good day.
Yeah,
I didn't really have an excuse, but
just did it.
Drink, yeah, and but you know, I have tools now, you know, and it really is. It's so cliche, but it is one day at a time.
Yeah, and I'm glad you took it one day at a time.
And the other thing I want to touch on too, really quick, is I still involved with music. I still love sports.
Still doing everything you love.
The party didn't end, you know.
Yeah,
it really didn't, you know. And I don't recommend anybody to just be like, oh, like still hang out with people that drink. But I'm able to do that today. I still have friends who drink, obviously, and
professional social drinker.
Yeah. And I'm able to still enjoy these things. You know, I went to a punk show not that long ago, and I was sober. You know, and
Speaking of shows, we're going to one in January.
Oh,
Woo!
Yeah.
So excited.
And I can still do things. You know, and I get to be like the designated driver or whatever, and still be around my friends and
yes,
still do things. You know, because life doesn't end just because you don't consume alcohol or do drugs anymore.
Facts.
You know, it doesn't. And I see people all the time who are miracles, you know, and it really is just like it's such a good feeling. It's really hard to put in words sometimes of how I feel.
Nah, it's the truth.
I just know that I don't feel like I used to anymore. And I don't want to go back to that. And today I don't have to, you know, and it really is one day at a time. And there's help out there, you know. Social media is a big thing now for recovery. On Instagram, Facebook, there's pages, there's other ways to network instead of just walking into a meeting. And there's just so many ways to, you know, reach out for help, you know.
Okay. Well, that's actually a good question that you talked about reaching out for help. Have you ever had anyone, like, hit you up on Instagram or anything like that, you know, asking, you know, for help? Or, yes. Like, you know, they've seen you, like, I know we have some people watching now. Would you be open if they actually hit you up on Instagram, like, hey man, I saw your interview, you know?
Of course.
If they have any questions or anything, like, can they hit?
Of course.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to tag my Instagram.
Well, just, you know, tell me your Instagram. I'll make sure I put it down in there.
Yeah, it's Amongst Wolves 999.
Let's spell it just in case.
AMONGSTWOLVES 999.
Hey, some people spell some weird stuff.
I know.
I've seen Mike with like 4Ks once. I'm like,
yeah. And then my Facebook is Zach Lemaster. Look for a dude with a beard and wearing sunglasses in the picture.
That really narrows it down with a name like Zach.
Yeah. Yeah, anyone could reach out. And even if you just like search like sober or recovery type of pages on Instagram, you'll find them. It's all out there.
Yeah.
And it's starting to become a big thing in the music community too. Like I'm watching guys from.
That is true. A lot of songs that we like are
the guys are trying to get sober.
Yeah.
It's becoming.
They don't want to wake up with some headaches.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just. It's not about being cool, but it is a cool thing though that there's a whole other community out there.
Yeah.
Just to know that you're not alone. You know, you're really not alone in this. It's everywhere. It's worldwide. You know, but it is a reminder though that this thing it will kill you. It can kill you, and
or you can kill others.
Yes, or you can kill others.
Yeah.
And it's
not a good thing.
No, but on a positive note though, it's worth it. You know, and it's just like a better life. You know, I don't know how to. Like I said, sometimes put it in words. But I do have a relationship with my son today, and family and friends, and I got a job, and I don't blow my paycheck when I get it on the.
He get paid, and all of a sudden, like, I'm like, dude, we just spent like $80 on booze. That's dang.
Yeah.
And that's just one afternoon.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you recovered, man. Seriously, I'm glad you recovered, and it's great to watch, man. Just to see you just continue this journey and to be an inspiration to a lot of people, myself included.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you.
So that's it for today, and man, it's so great to hear someone like recover from fallen story. So I'll see you guys on the next one, and hey, you want to do like one of those like 90s, like, you know how they do like the end of like sitcoms, they do like the freeze image, like yeah. All right, ready? Here we go. All right, that's it for you guys. All right, 1, 2, 3, go. Yes. Hey everyone, thank you guys so much for watching my video. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for all the love and support. Make sure you leave a like, and if you're not part of Little Drummer Dude Nation, make sure you subscribe to Little Drummer Dude Vids. I'll see you guys in the next video. If you guys want, leave a comment down below. I will definitely reply because I love to talk. So, I'll see you guys in the next video. Till next time, see ya!